And the interesting thing about Newton was he was an alchemist. Well, when I say not many people know that, what it happened was in the Victorian times that sort of thing was suppressed. People saw Newton as a great heroic figure, and they wrote biographies about him, and they always left out the alchemy, but he spent a lot of time doing alchemy.
And what is alchemy?
Well, alchemy was this idea that you can transform matter. And what Newton did was he took you take a chemical compound and you can break it down into chemical elements. Okay, so you can take sodium and chlorine and make salt, sodium chloride.
Let's do that now.
Okay. I have to drink this water you spat out.
That's a good point. Yeah. Well, you'll get it and spit it out.
Okay.
Too, all right.
So anyway, he thought what he was looking for was the universal solvent, and he believed he could break down the elements into what he would call the one Catholic matter, the one universal matter. So that was what Newton was trying to do, to find the one universal matter out of which everything was created. And he wanted to, he was going to write this great book which would have all the laws of motion, you know, Newton's laws, and the one Catholic matter. And this was the great book he wanted to write, but the Royal Society pushed him into writing the Principia. So he wrote it really in a way too soon. He wanted to incorporate alchemy too. And just think, like if Newton had written a book in which you had the laws of motion and alchemy, I mean, it would be a very different world.
Because Newton, what is the ideas we got from Newton? How are they affecting us today?
Well, you see, if you'd had alchemy, then you would believe that nature is alive, that matter is alive in a sense.
Okay.
And matter's striving for perfection, and the alchemist is helping matter strive for. So you would have believed that we lived in a living universe. But what happened with Newton was, because you had the laws of motion, and you could predict how everything moved, and like Plass said, if I'd stood next to God at the moment of creation, I could have predicted the whole future of the world. You got this idea that the world was a great mechanism, you know, what they call the Newtonian clockwork. So that's what happened. You got the Newtonian clockwork, and we just saw the world as a great mechanism. But if Newton had completed his book and added in alchemy, we would have seen, okay, it has, matter has laws, but it's also in a way is alive. So that's very interesting that we only had half of Newton.
So I don't like fig Newtons, by the way.
Oh, you don't like fig Newtons?
No, I just don't.